Okay, so we are back after a little bit of a break there. I don't think I have anything specific really planned to talk about. We've got our silly agendas as per usual. Call them Acorns this time. Why? Just no reason in particular. I don't know. I guess I could talk about being sick all the time. I'm not really that sick all the time, but it I guess more than most people. So today I was just going to work on making some sprites. I think I've made videos of working on sprites before. That's just gonna be what's going on in the background for this one. Unless it turns out as some kind of disaster, which is always possible, I suppose. I quickly made this sprite this morning, and he fits in my 32 by 32, so he could end up in an RPG Maker game later. I think is some kind of wind sprite. Wind. I don't know why I keep yawning so much. I don't think that I'm particularly that tired. It's not that late or anything. It is kitty nap time, so that could be part of it. I laid down on the couch for like 2 seconds when I was feeling woozy, and all the cats ran over and laid down on the cat tree and the couch and by my feet, and it became kitty nap time. So everybody else in the house is asleep. I still can't decide if I'm happy with the way his tail feathers came out. But I think I like pretty much everything about this little guy. So I'm gonna copy him. And I think I've been going with 6 stages, so I need to make... I guess I'm gonna dye these guys gray. Not that it matters at this point. But, just so I have a clear transition for them, I'm gonna move these little guys over a bit more. So I'll end up with a little bit more space. Probably end up moving these guys over. Sometimes you need space to move stuff. That's still probably not enough space, but I guess let's copy our 32 bar. I just use those to measure how many pixels across. Yeah, there's totally not enough space to fit 2 sprites next to each other in there, so... And they shouldn't be that close together while I'm working on them. So I guess we'll move them over. So that'll be the transition of the 6. I don't know if for the detail work I should make this a little bigger. I'm just making some pretty simple sprites for this game. Oh, come on. I didn't want to go with anything too fancy, because one of the original concept... how close do I want that to be? Yeah, I guess I only have to fix a line then. But one of the original concepts that this game was... that I started working on it, thinking about, was games like Tamagotchi, which is so simple. Some of those sprites are... I don't even know if they're 32 by 32. But I definitely wanted something that was a little bit more detailed, but something that wasn't completely without of my artistic ability, because I'm not going to hire anybody to work on these. I do have several friends who are in graphic design who would probably help me out if I wanted them to, but... or I could pay them to commission stuff, but you know how that goes. I'd rather try to do it myself, and if I hit a wall, then ask for help. I had a couple of friends who did want to contribute, but nobody has really talked about it recently, so here I am. I don't mind making the sprites. I could have this form just have 2 tail feathers. They're definitely still too big, though. I need to make them less wide. Or just significantly smaller in general. That looks pretty good. Although this one's probably still gonna end up too wide. I forget what color I used for this. I don't think that should be that wide. Maybe. It doesn't look too bad. And then I don't know if I still want to move them inward a little bit more. Because then he can have like maybe like a third of that left for this form, and then you won't be able to see the tail at all in the third form. So for the first 3 forms, you won't see anything of a tail. And he won't have a back view. Just a front view. Because I think for this game design, I don't have anywhere that you can... Actually, I might have back views. I'm gonna have to check through my sprites. Figure that out. What I decided to do with some of the stuff like that. I think that's good for now. I still am not... Oh, I guess I can adjust how big the rest of him is as well at this point. I don't know if I want to make him that skinny, since the one baby form is much thicker. Unless I just have him skinny. Yeah, I'll leave him as wide, just make him... I guess I can't even really make him that much shorter. I can make his feet a little bit more simple, though. I can make his wing go in one. But yeah, just progress, I guess, on some of the games. My pet game is going along. I keep going back and forth with whether or not I want to edit the evolution system. There are just a couple things that I keep going back and forth on, and I just can't make a decision on what I'm going to do with those yet. Several of the other RPG Maker games that I've been working on are pretty close to where they would need to be for a demo. He's so much... I guess I can make him 1 pixel shorter each time. He's a little bit skinnier here than he is here. So he just has a pudgy baby form, but which is okay. I don't know. I guess at this stage I won't adjust his beak down. I might go for a darker gray though for this later stage. Something like that. And then more of a middle gray than either of those. That looks a little bit better. But yeah, this is just what I've been doing for a little while. Making more sprites. It usually takes me a couple hours for most of them, but then they're done. And I don't have to do much with them. I don't know, that looks kind of weird. I guess it gets the idea across. He's got tail feathers, you know? I could, I guess move his backline in a little bit more. He's gonna look weird though. And he's so skinny. Just so I could have 2 more pixels. Yeah. I guess I can move him out the other way. So he looks just as wide. That's the wrong color, right? Okay. Yeah, he still looks like a little off. I can always adjust him later though. Maybe I'll make his head farther down by that 1 pixel. Okay, that makes a difference. Although, did I already make him shorter by a pixel? No, I can't remember. I can make his legs a little closer together too. The fun of making sprites sometimes. I kind of like it rippled a little bit there more than here. I might add something like that in somehow, like that. Yeah, I think I like that better. Yeah, I think I'll call that good for the 5th stage for now. He's still pretty complex compared to his stage 2. I guess I could move him a little bit closer so you can see them both at the same time. But I'll come to some kind of happy middle after this stage. I want it to be even less than that. Because I think it really should just be a tiny stump of a tail at this stage. That's not what I wanted to do. I don't even know what that did. Yeah, something more like that. Well, that's more like half. I wanted like 1/3 of what he had in that stage. But we'll see. I can always change it around a little bit later too. It's way too much of the blue tail. I'm gonna see if I can still fit the 3rd little gray tail poking out. Maybe not. Because I don't want to make him that much skinnier. I don't know if he should just have... I guess that's fine for feet. I do have to make his gray more of a middle tone. I might end up making his dark gray a little darker. We'll see how that looks. It's a little too bright, I think. There's still not much of a difference, so I think I will end up making his darkest stage a little darker. Whoops. Wrong color. He's coming out kind of duck looking. Just a little duck. So I think at this point I'll make his head a little wider again like it was in the baby form. And this is where I think I'm going to make his beak look a little smaller. I'm not sure how I want to do that quite yet. If I just want to have... Oh, I could do that. Just the beginning inklings of a beak. And then I definitely want to make him a unit shorter somewhere. I don't want to mess up his tail too much. I have to fix that. I keep using the wrong color. Oh, I have the wrong thing selected. Alright. I still don't know if I want to have you be able to see the third tail feather on this stage. It's probably fine if you don't. Get rid of that little dot. Because it makes him just look a little simpler. And a stage like this just to tie it up. His eye size is going to be interesting for when I want that to change. Probably from here to here, so I'll keep his eyes smaller, like that. I might make the top of his head a little similar. For how it dips down. Yeah, I guess I could get rid of a whole unit that way. So then he starts to look a little bit more like the baby form. I think I might entirely get rid of his little baby wing too at this point, or just make it again a little smaller, more of, that's the wrong color. It's not letting me change the color, that's why. Okay, there we go. I had to change it to a different color than black. Okay. I don't know if I want to have a bit of a beak on that stage. Or even on this stage as well. Oh, my feet are completely asleep. It hurts. I think I might get rid of the feet entirely. The yellow part anyway, so he'll just have little nubby feet. That looks kind of strange, so I think I'll even them out. Whoops, that's not even at all. It looks a little strange. I think I'm gonna keep it one unit up. Then adjust his belly. Well, that just looks weird. I'll fix it later. I guess I could make it just completely flat and round. Or less like this, where it looks like his feet start growing out a little bit. But not entirely. That's I guess that could be an idea of just little sticky legs. I just got way too into working on this sprite to even talk about anything, so whoops. I think the tail is completely gone now. Maybe just like an inkling of a tail. Whoops, not that color. Or we'll just have the one that's light gray. Not that you can even tell it's light gray at this point. Where it's like, oh yeah, he has a tail. Yes. That's also not the color I want. Yeah, I think I like that a little bit better for the progression of his feet. And then I think, because I can't quite tell. Okay, he's 2 units taller. So I think I might take another unit off his middle. Yeah, like that. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. And the beak can stay like that. And I'll move them all closer together so they can be seen all at once. I never know exactly how I want to line up their feet on the bottom when I do that. Like, should I have their feet touching the ground, or... Come on. Should I line it up with the bottom of their belly? Okay, well you can see just about 5 of them on there all at the same time. Of just the progression of how this character would evolve over time. I'm gonna check really quick. I could make this bird 1 unit skinnier, and I think that looks a little bit better too. His head's a little bit smaller looking, so that looks a little weird, but he's essentially done for what I'm gonna do with him, so if I still want to have something like that for this stage. But either way, I would pretty much call this what would be like done for the progression of this sprite. So yeah, here's a little wind sprite for that pet game that I'm working on, and this would just be one of the progressions. Most of the initial stages look something like this, where sometimes right away, because of a beak, you would be able to tell that you're going to get some type of bird. But then once you get into this stage, I think the 3rd stage is unique on every single one. And then, or I guess I'm calling this the 3rd stage because there's also a newborn stage before this one that they all are the same. But this stage on all of them would be unique, where this one can be very similar or exactly the same between the different types of sprites, but by this stage they're all completely unique and then going to end up being something totally different. So that'll be something to mess around with further as I get into these videos. Hope you enjoyed.